Hey guys, I'm here with my Qubd 2-up 3D printer, and as you can probably see, I have done quite a bit to it. Most of it's just right here, as you can see. Uh, I have on it right now, instead of the stock Anubis hot end, I have upgraded to an E3D V6. I have not done a whole lot of testing with it, as I was eager to get the Bowden setup going here. You see I got the PTFE tubing. It's quite long right now. Haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get it set up. I have an idea, which I'll get to in a minute. But first thing I needed to do when I decided to test out a Bowden system was I needed to make a mount. And this mount here is made out of acrylic. I designed on AutoCAD and had it laser cut here at school. They have one here in the engineering building. You can see it's very nice, very smooth. It's almost like glass cutting through there. The only reason it's a little foggy on one side is because I had to sand one side down a little bit, but that was not a big deal. I'm not exactly sure if you can tell, but the locking mechanism I used here was you get a nice shot. The printer comes up. I mean the hot end. The hot end comes through the bottom piece here, and then this piece comes across and locks it in place, and I screw it down. I thought it was a pretty clever design. As you can see, through there you can see the shape of the top of the hot end. It's like an eye sort of shape. It goes do. My original plan was to use one of these. This is a 1/4-inch piece, just like the majority of this is made out of. Oops. And this 1/4-inch piece was going to just be right there, but I'm not quite sure if you can tell, but it is. Focus right there. Yeah, 2 1/8-inch pieces are bigger than a 1/4-inch because they're not quite exactly what they say they are. The space I needed it to lock into was 0.236. This ended up being like 0.22. And the 1/8-inch ones are like, they're a little bit bigger than that. They're like 0.1, like 0.15, 0.16. So your total thickness is like almost, I think it ended up being like 0.4, 0.24. So it was actually quite tight around this collar, and I actually had to sand it down, and that's why I sanded it down right there. And so we'll see how it works. And I mean, it seems pretty solid, despite the little oversight I had right here, which is that my locking piece comes up too far and I can't fit a screw in right there, and that's a little annoying. But it should work just enough to test, and maybe I'll recut these pieces with a little notch so I can fit a screw in through there. Yeah, I'm eager to test out this Bowden system. It'll make the printer head much lighter because we don't have a big old heavy extruder on the end of there anymore. And here is the Bowden system I'm working on. I'm probably going to redesign everything. This is just one I got off Thingiverse. It's like a compact Bowden system. This is the stock Mark 7 hog bolt gear, and this design is meant for a Mark 7. So I ordered a Mark 7 bolt here, and we'll see how it works. If I'm not liking it, I will probably design my own. I'll probably design one anyways. I haven't quite figured out how to get the tubing in there quite yet. So we can get this over here. This comes with quite a large threaded piece, and this is what came with the E3D. If you buy the E3D Bowden kit, it comes with a plastic end, not a brass piece, and that certainly won't fit in there. So I'm not quite sure what I'll need to do, if I'll need to buy another piece or fabricate something. We'll see. But I need to make a bracket for this to either hang off the side of my printer here or back here or something or other. Let me get the focus a little better. This is odd lighting, so it's hard to focus here. But I'll make a bracket, either out of acrylic or just a piece of metal to fit off the side, far enough to where it'll be out of the way of the gantry. But I'll be working on that this week. And yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of printing yet. I haven't done any printing with this setup at all. But I tested the E3D briefly before I disassembled everything to put this together. This is one of the prints I did, and the quality is tenfold what I was getting with my Anubis, which was very spotty and it would jam up and whatnot. There we go, now it's focused. You can see it's still some inconsistent extrusion sizes, because you can see right through the mesh. That, I believe, is what caused all my problems, is what I believe to be the filament. I used mostly this stuff, and I have the same stuff in white right there, but this stuff is a very, very rigid stuff. I got it off eBay. It says it's made in America, but I'm not so sure. I mean, it's pretty rigid stuff, and the extruder has a hard time grabbing onto it. So for comparison, they have a Delta printer at my school, or they have multiple printers. One of them happens to be a Delta printer, and they have a Delta Maker filament, which is like $40 a spool. And I just took a little bit of it just to see. This is just like from changing filaments from what was in the Bowden tube. And it's hard to tell on camera. This thing is whipping me in the face, but it's hard to tell on camera that this is much more flexible until it breaks, really. Like, I mean, you can flex it and it's much more flexible, but it breaks easier. This stuff, however, is pretty tough. You can't snap this, but it's hard for the extruder to grab onto. However, I think this will fare much better in the Bowden system, so I will probably be looking into getting some. Either I might try out Delta Maker. It's a bit pricey, but I'm looking at Matter Hackers, and that's probably what I'll try out. This here was a print I did on the Delta Maker at school. I did it pretty fast. I did this like at 60 or 70 millimeters per second, which isn't that fast for a Delta printer, but it was a large part print. And the filament, this is the same Delta Maker filament. I don't know if I said that or not, but it feels alright. It's a bit more flexible than what I've been printing with, which is this stuff, and you can hear the sound. I know they're totally different parts, but the PLA I have is much harder than the Delta Maker one. So I think that was also part of my problem. My filament was just much too hard, which, I mean, I had to print it at a higher temperature. That explains that. And I was having a lot of trouble actually extruding. So I think I've solved that problem. I will be ordering probably some Matter Hacker filament to test that out. And I can't wait to start using this setup right here. And this was the last print I did on my old printer. Well, before I started modifying it and everything, was 1/2 of the gantry setup. So that'll be going on that side. And this is what I get, the same really hard, dense filament. And it turned out pretty good. The only way I could get it to work was if I extruded at 0.1 layer height. So this took 15 hours to print, and I had to slow it way down, so took forever. But you can see it turned out pretty good besides all the Z banding and the slight warp it has on the bottom. I don't know how we can tell it warping up on this corner a little bit, but it'll work. It's a very usable part. It turned out quite nice for the 2-up. I'm very happy with this. But after that, it jammed up. The Anubis hot end jammed up when I tried to print the other side, and I just got tired of it, and I started modifying it. So I don't know where the Anubis hot end is right now, but it's jammed up, and I didn't feel like unjamming it, so I bought the E3D and just said, screw it, I'm gonna build this. So anyways, this video is running a bit longer than I expected. I hope if you guys have any questions, you'll ask me. If you want me to, I could send you the DXF file for this on AutoCAD. And if you have access to a laser cutter, or if you just want the dimensions, I feel free and I can send that file to you. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.